Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you a time-lapse of a My Hero Academia piece for an upcoming convention. But before I get into the video, I need to give a few quick shoutouts. First of all, one of my students got me into this show, which I'm kinda surprised I haven't watched until a few months back, considering how much it's influenced by Western superhero comics. But yeah, she goes by the handle Fuzzy Hoodie. So give her stuff a look. Pretty good artist, huh? Way better than I was when I was 17, that's for sure. Secondly, I feel like I need to plug my buddy Johnny. He's plugged me several times in the last while, so it's only fair. Plus, we're tabling together at Toronto Comic Con this weekend, so if you're in the area, be sure to stop by and say hi. Alright, that's enough plugs. Just be advised, I'm probably going to talk spoilers, so if you haven't watched the show or caught up with it, just be aware. Alright, let's dive into the video. So I started out the piece by loosely thumbnailing my idea. I already had a rough idea of what I wanted going into this piece, since I had already been brainstorming for a few days prior to starting. Now you're going to see the background change like a bajillion times. Ready? See what I mean? So, why did I need to draw so many backgrounds? Well, I guess this is where I need to start talking spoilers, because it's a story reason. So the premise of the story is you have a bunch of students that are in a school that's training superheroes, and they're currently doing placement in the city with actual established superheroes. Meanwhile, there's this widely publicized killer on the loose in the same city, and he's been picking off these heroes one by one. Now, a few episodes prior, one of these kids, which, by the way, he's the definition of a Boy Scout if there ever was one, his brother was put into critical condition by this same hero killer, and now this guy is basically out for blood. He wants revenge on him. So this guy's going out trying to track down this killer, and he gets in way over his head, because what he doesn't know is the reason this guy's so dangerous is he has a power to paralyze people if he ingests their blood, which is why he has so many blades on him to try to cut them. So he gets in way over his head, and he gets paralyzed, and luckily the main protagonist of the show sees him, and he alerts another classmate that's in the area, so they jump in. And that's basically the focal point of the piece. But meanwhile, while this is all going down, there is more stuff going on in the city. The main villains of the show, up until this point anyways, they are basically tearing the city to shreds right now. They released these things called Nomu, which are basically formerly humans that were, I don't know, modified to become brainless servants with multiple powers, and they're just wreaking havoc, and it's taking all of the established heroes that are there to try to just keep the city from falling apart. So basically that's the whole reason I have a background like this. I wanted to focus on the students, which that's kind of the more core emotional part of this arc. But meanwhile, there's some pretty heavy shit going on in the background. So I wanted to show that while something's happening in front of us, something is happening just over the horizon. And to do that, I needed to find a perspective that, you know, a camera angle that could show both. So that's why I kept cycling through all those backgrounds, trying to figure out how I could show the main action and at the same time show what's going on just over the distance. Okay, so now I'm basically just doing the line art. Nothing crazy, you know, just going over the lines. Oh man, so this character, if you couldn't tell, this is that villain. He's known as Hero Killer Stain. He was a little challenging to draw, mostly because it was hard to figure out the reference material. The screenshots, they were very inconsistent, so it took some trial and error to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, I like the design. It's just, it was not easy to translate. Oh, I don't know if you noticed, the little 1.20 that I drew, you'll probably see similar things on the other characters. So the reason I do that is, so I'm writing down what the brush size I'm using is, because as the characters come closer to us, we want the lines to be thicker so that it appears like they are closer to us, right? And as the characters and objects get further away from us, we want the lines to get thinner, so it pushes them back, creates that illusion of depth. So yeah, you can see on that character, he's named Deku, I just put, it looks like 0.8, and yeah, it'll be slightly smaller for the one behind him, and slightly larger for the one closer to us. And now I'm drawing Ida, aka the teacher's pet who is out for revenge. He's got a pretty interesting design. It's based on what looks like old school knights, which is pretty cool. But drawing those boots was a nightmare. That's another one that had very inconsistent details with the character design and, I mean, the model sheet and the screenshots. Figuring that out was not fun, but it is what it is, I guess. And now I'm just drawing Todoroki. Okay, tell me. I mean, I guess everyone that's familiar with both series already know this, but is he not just Zuko from Avatar? Like, he's got the same scar, the same powers, except he can also do ice stuff. Even the family thing and how he got the scar, it's almost the same as Avatar: The Last Airbender. I don't know. I mean, it's all good, I guess. I really like this show, and Avatar is one of my favorites, so yeah, and Zuko is my favorite character on there, so it's all good, whatever. So now I'm just laying out the flat colors for all the characters before I start adding the shading. So the shading part, unfortunately, I guess I forgot to record, so you'll see a jump. It's not gonna happen right away though, but I'll just so you know that part got cut out. So now back to backgrounds. So it's gonna change again in a moment. Reason being, I found it to be a little too warped. So I was using some reference when I came up with that, but I didn't like it, so I just decided, you know, I'm gonna go back to making the perspective a little more normal, I guess. So I went back to kind of a normal 3-point perspective. So yeah, just doing a few perspective tricks to try to find out the shape and size of the windows, indicating the moon, the background. It So in the show, there's this blood red moon. I don't remember if it was throughout the whole thing or if it was just near the end for dramatic effect, because the screenshots I had, they were all with the blood red moon, so I just assumed it was the whole thing because I didn't have time to rewatch a whole thing all over again. But yes, so there's that. There's the chaos happening a few blocks away. Todoroki's fire effect. His ice. Okay, so I think, no, not yet. Okay, we're gonna be close to the point where it's gonna just cut and there'll be shadows out of nowhere. There you go. Okay, so the shadows, they just, I'm sorry, it didn't record. If you want to see how I do them, you can check out my previous video, which is a Cyber 6 drawing. It's the same concept. I did the exact same way of shading. But yeah, just roughing out some effects. I decided to go with a bit of, I guess, a motion type blur effect. They have this cool brush in Clip Studio that kind of does it in a, it smears it in a way that I think looks nicer than Photoshop's equivalent. So yeah, I think the part in Clip Studio is pretty much done. So now it's basically final stages. It's just color grading it. So I added some noise right there. I'm using gradient maps for the most part, but I'm also adjusting colors little by little. The reason I like using gradient maps is it kind of unifies the whole image a bit. If you put it on, say, like a color mode, and then you, I don't know, choose a color scheme that fits. So, for example, if you're doing a sunset, you might want a heavy red, blue, not blue, red, orange, yellow, and it'll give the whole image a unified look. So, okay, right there, that was actually my student that called me out on that. So, her favorite character is the one I was shit-talking just recently. It is a cool character, but I just think it's Zuko. But yeah, I forgot to put those white marks on his collar. She caught it right away. It was in my rough, but I guess I forgot. My bad. Don't kill me. 'Cause she would. Now I'm just adding some quick speed lines, very subtly, just to add to the motion in the piece. And that's pretty much it. Here's the final. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the breakdown. Let me know what you guys think. I plan on making more of these. But yeah, hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it easy.